Heads up, if you have kids around, parental advisory is in effect.
Parental advisory is in effect.
This is the Bonus Bone Podcast with Lamont and Tonelli, Baby Huey, and Chasta.
Woo! Welcome back to the Bonus Bone Podcast. Chasta, Lamont, Tonelli, Huey, and we have another guest, you guys.
Yes, we do.
Are we on a roll or what?
Well, let me tell you, this is a great guy. He works here at the Bone in the traffic department.
Yes.
And we got on the subject and we said, well, what are we going to talk about today? And John walked into the room when we were talking about this. And I said, we've got to get that on the Bone Podcast.
Yes,
Absolutely.
John, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for letting me pull you out of your office across
That's
this
okay.
way.
just tell my boss where I'm at, please.
I know, right?
So I don't know where he is. I think he's goofing off again.
No idea. So you have a great holiday memory story. Tell us what it is.
Well, we got on the subject of holiday and Christmas memories.
Yes.
Because we all have them.
Yes.
And that's when John walked in with, I said, this is a great friggin' story.
Yeah. So growing up as a kid, I always used to get up really early. And it was like I couldn't sleep because Santa was going to bring me gifts. And many times I would wake up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and go out and sneak and look at what Santa brought me and go back to bed and then pretend, wake up and pretend that, I'm surprised. So one year, I think I was probably 10 or 11, and I have a younger sister, and we both did what we usually do, and we woke up really early and went downstairs, and my sister, I'm not going to say her name, I don't want to have her shame, but she said, we were talking, we just wanted to open a present. She said, well, Mom said last night we could go ahead and open them. And being the big brother, I should have been like, no, but I was
But
like,
you believed her.
I think I wanted to believe her, and we went ahead and we opened up all our gifts.
Every freaking present under the tree.
Frickin' one of them.
What did your parents do when they woke up?
My mom flipped. And now I know as an adult, because as you buy gifts for younger kids, that's part of the joy of watching them open it.
Seeing them open the present.
Sure. And she got none of that.
Just had to clean up the wrapping paper.
Yeah, so so I essentially, my sister and I have to take some blame because I should have been the big brother, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
But that's your memory that you will always have.
Always for that. And when I walked into the studio and you guys were talking about, I'm like, I got a story for you.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, we know you got to get back to work, so thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
You don't have to stick around for us.
Okay.
But
Great story.
Thank you for
the man
joining
who
us.
ruined Christmas for his parents.
That's right.
And Merry Christmas to you.
Happy holidays to all.
Thank you. Oh my God,
Good stuff, John.
I would freak out on Cody if he did
Right?
that. Oh my God.
If my kids did that, I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Oh, after you spent so much time and money, of course, but so much time in, well, do you guys even buy and wrap presents? Tonelli, I think you do.
Wrap presents?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and you buy them. You were saying this morning you only buy like 2.
Yeah, I buy one for my wife and one for my radio wife.
Yes, that'd be me.
And that's it.
Jay has no idea. He has no idea. I have bought for 28 people.
Yeah.
He does not know one single thing I've
Jay's
bought.
same as me.
He has no idea. He hasn't wrapped a damn thing. How the fuck did he get out of Christmas? Like,
It's a guy thing.
Guys
That's
get
what
out of
we
Christmas.
do.
How does
You
this
just
work?
do.
Yeah.
Ladies, unite. I need to understand. We need to just stop Christmas until the guys are on board because it's insane.
It's not intentional. It's just what you do.
It's not intentional.
It's not.
As I look over and Jay's watching soccer and I'm rapping my ass off for an entire weekend and I'm like,
As a matter of fact, I used to get pissed off when my wife would go, okay, we've got to bring the Christmas presents in from outside. We'd have them in the garage in a storage area.
Yeah.
She goes, bring them in now when the kids are sleeping. I'm just like, oh, my God, can't you do that? Can't you see
terrible.
how tired I am?
I know, right? So getting back to not the stress and anxiety of the holidays, but the good stuff.
Yeah.
What are your memories of the holidays? This is a little one.
Well, for me, I think I was probably, 6 or 7 years old, but it goes back to the best toy I ever got. And it was the Mattel Agent Zero M Sonic Blaster. This thing was
the
fantastic.
Sonic Blaster was great.
And in fact, the commercials for the Sonic Blaster featured a very young Kurt Russell on TV back in the mid '60s. Yeah, Kurt Russell did the commercials. Anyway, the Sonic Blaster was like a bazooka type toy.
Yes,
that rested on your shoulder, and the barrel was probably about 4 or 5 inches across.
Right,
made of black plastic. And what you did is it had a lever on it, and you filled it with compressed air. Right?
This is a child's toy.
Yeah.
Yes. And they had a whole line of Agent Zero M toys. They had the camera that turned into a pistol.
Right.
They had the transistor radio that turned into a rifle.
Oh my God.
It was all based like on James Bond stuff, right?
Sure.
The Agent Zero M line of toys. So anyway, the Sonic Blaster, it only lasted about 2 or 3 years because after you filled it with the compressed air, it just shot the air out. That's what it was. So you blew down targets with the air. That's how powerful the air was.
Okay.
The problem with the toy was the boom that came out. The sonic blast was about 150 decibels.
Oh my
God.
God.
Kids were shattering their eardrums.
Kids are losing their ears.
Oh my God.
Best toy I ever got.
That would explain your lack of hearing too.
I just Googled it.
That red lever is what you use to compress the air.
Okay.
Now, the problem with the toy was that the more air you put in it, the louder it was.
Sure.
But as you did the lever to compress the air, it got more and more difficult to pump it, the more air that got compressed.
Right.
So a lot of times that red lever that you saw ended up breaking. That was the big flaw in the toy.
Oh, okay.
So not a lot of these toys are around. In fact, I found one on eBay that was fully functioning with the lever about 5 years ago.
Buy for Cody, and he can start shooting things around the house.
Listed on eBay for $3,000.
Take it off the list for Cody.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's not happening.
So I was up at like 6 a.m, found the Agent Zero M Sonic Blaster. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Wow.
So everybody's asleep, and I'm blasting the thing in the living room. Like blowing pictures over, blowing things down. Hey, what can I do? Will it shoot upstairs? What can I blow the picture off the wall? So I'm in the hallway outside my parents' bedroom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Best toy ever.
Did they ever take it away from you?
No, I broke it by the time they had a chance to take it away from me, but because that lever broke on me. I was just like,
you were just going to the max
thing.
level of air, too.
That is wild.
Great toy. Fantastic toy.
Not a Christmas memory, but real quick, my grandpa, my 5th birthday, bought me a BB gun. Why?
Oh, cool.
Someone's going to lose an eye. Christmas story.
Christmas story, I know. No, but seriously, and we would go out and, we would shoot cans and stuff like that. But 5 years old, that is like Cody last year getting a...
Right.
No way. What were our parents and grandparents? That's what they did.
Back in the day.
That's what they did. It was
kids 5, 6 years old with a BB gun. Oh, yeah, of course.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Firing them at each other.
Yeah, seriously.
I think that for me, like probably the scariest time was the time I got chased down by a dog on Christmas morning.
Yeah. How does that happen?
Well, no, so here's the thing. My parents got Tommy and I each like new bikes, and so we were riding the bikes outside, and so we go down in the neighborhood, and we make like a U-turn and come back. All of a sudden, this big ass all red Rottweiler starts chasing us, running down the street. So we're trying to pedal as fast as we could. It's chasing us. And like literally, I think we pulled up to the driveway, threw our bikes on the grass, and started running up the steps.
And the dog was still running after
Still running up the steps. We shut the door and we were like, Dad, there's a huge ass dog chasing us.
What was he going to do?
So he opened the door and he was like, because it was all red. The Rottweiler, Rottweiler's more like, black.
They're
with
usually,
like
yeah.
But this one was like pure red, and my dad was just in awe.
Satan Rottweiler.
Yeah.
So you let him in the house?
No. So my dad,
right?
So my dad opened the door and started playing with it, and because the dog was like really nice. I guess he thought he wanted to play with us.
Oh.
So, but as a kid, things are like your imagination. It's like this demon dog chasing us. But in actuality, he just wanted to play. So it was just following us home. But the dog was super nice, playful. My dad wanted to keep it, but I had a collar on it. And it was,
Okay,
just take the collar off.
I don't know what happened. Dog didn't have a collar.
But no, so it was, it was the neighbor's dog. So we walked it back down to the neighbors, and my dad was just to this day, he'll talk about that dog. Just how
Why don't you
nice.
get your dad a red Rottweiler for Christmas?
That's a good idea.
No, he can barely take care of himself. that responsibility would fall on me.
Yeah.
It would. I hope he's not listening to this podcast.
I thought about getting him a dog. He's 70 now, so it's like maybe keep him busy. But yeah, I know the responsibilities will fall on me.
Yeah.
But
Why create work for yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he used to have a Dalmatian before Tommy and I were born. So Dalmatian was like his baby for the longest time. And then when that passed, I think he was always kind of, tough for him to get a new dog.
Yeah.
But, maybe one day. I don't know.
Maybe one day we'll get the demon dog for your dad.
Demon dog.
But this dog was
It'd be a
awesome.
hell
I mean, now
dog.
looking back on it, that dog was so playful and nice. And like I said, to this day, my dad still talks about that
See,
dog.
just like pit bulls, Rottweilers get a bad rap.
Right?
Just
It was
one
Exactly.
way.
super nice. And
See
like,
the way you were ready to diss Rottweilers with your story?
no, but see, no,
Prejudging it like that?
No, growing up, I was afraid of dogs growing up because I got
All
bit by a
dogs?
dog. Yeah.
Oh,
See,
What kind of dog were you bit by?
I forgot what it was.
Mine was a Chihuahua.
Oh,
Those freaking little dogs.
Me too.
Yeah.
I got the scars of the dog bite right here. So we have a piece of property up by Olema, and I was a little kid playing, and the neighbor's dog came over, and I was throwing the tennis ball, and we bring it back. It dropped it right in front of me, and I reached under him, and I yanked it. So I was a little kid, so I just yanked it fast because I was scared.
Right.
And when I did that, the dog just leaped at me like mouth open, and I stuck my arm out to protect my face, and it latched onto my arm and bit me, and I was like freaking out. I had to go to the doctors to get
Maybe the dog was trying to lick you, and you just freaking
You're
overreacted.
a
dog
nice
is it
little
again?
dog. You scared it. It's your fault.
Was that a pit bull?
Stop it.
But no, I
Probably was.
Chihuahua.
I was bleeding like really bad. I had to go to the doctors and get a rabies shot, all
my
that stuff.
God.
Yeah. So I still have the scars here. So that's why growing up, I was such afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
So hence, a couple years later, this
Demon
Rottweiler.
dog.
Yeah. I was afraid. But
God,
now-
I'm getting you a dog for Christmas. I'm going to go to the pound and go, give me the most ferocious dog.
Give me the
and make
meanest.
sure he's red so his dad will keep him. Merry Christmas, Huey.
That's hilarious.
So for my story, and speaking of dads, my dad every year used to get so shit-faced drunk at Christmas, it was a tradition. All my uncles would come over, and it was like a smoking cigarette. But at the end of the night, you could literally fill a garbage can up with fucking cigarette butts and empty bottles. I mean, it was just friggin' ridiculous. This is our Christmas tradition. So every friggin' Christmas, and I used to get the same presents every year, a hockey jersey, which, by the way, my favorite Christmas present, still to this day, was a hockey net. I got a
there
hockey
you
net,
go.
and we'd play street hockey with that. And we
You're so Canadian.
But so my dad got so friggin' drunk one year, and all my uncles were there. We were actually at my uncle's place, and he got so shit-faced. At the end of the night, there was always a disturbance or a fight. And I mean, an argument. This one turned into my dad picking my uncle up and throwing him through a wall.
Holy crap.
Friggin' day. To this friggin' day, when I think of Christmas, I think of my dad picking up my uncle and throwing him through a wall.
Oh, my God.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
That's straight out of Christmas
Nothing screams
Vacation.
Christmas like tossing the guy in the wall.
Seriously,
Hole in the
wow.
wall.
My story isn't nearly as violent, but it's fun and it does involve alcohol.
Yeah.
So you guys have heard me say that I learned to dance to Skinnerd whenever I was a little girl
Yes.
at my grandparents' house. Well, that was at Christmas. That was
Okay.
at Christmas time. So we'd have my whole mom's side of the family over to my grandma's house, and they're a fun group. We'll
Right.
put it that way.
Okay. Hold it. Moonshine involved?
Yes.
Of course. Of
Now, I was
course.
little, so I didn't partake in the moonshine at that point, but I know there was moonshine that happened.
Yeah.
Much later, as I became an adult in my 20s, I did partake in the moonshine. So moonshine and Skinnerd into Christmas makes me feel real warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
I haven't been home to Oklahoma. This would be 3 years because
Right.
of COVID. So this year, turn it up, Skinnerd and moonshine. Let's go.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. All right, you guys. Well, those are our some of our holiday memories. We'd love to hear from you. TheBonusBonePodcast@gmail.com if you want to send them to us. And we hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Merry
Yep,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Throw
Happy
someone through a
holidays.
wall.